Alright, so now I want to explain, this is going to be part two of the building and how to make it great again. And I always laugh when I hear me say that. I need to build a knee wall that's about that tall. And the reason I'm going to build that wall is the building was one of them that you had to bend over to get into, one of the little short ones, metal buildings. And the bottom of it was bad. So to start off with, I already got to cut some of the bottom off. So this is going to help me because I don't have to cut off as much as my wall is tall. So if I build the wall at 16 inches and then cut the building down, cut all the bad off the bottom of it, then I'll still have a raised roof or door facing because of the wall. So, then once I've got the wall done, this is just the plan. It doesn't mean that this is exactly what's going to happen. So when you see this, don't think, well, I thought you was going to do this. Things change with me. I could be looking at something and decide that's how I want to do it, and then realize I could have done it in a different way, and I will do it a different way and I could change my mind 3 or 4 times. This is how my mind works, and this is how I get things done. Alright, so because there was 2 roofs on it, I'm going to take the top roof, the one that was not the original, that's going to be for the roof. The original roof, which is thin like the side walls, they're a little rough on the ends, but I can divide them in half. I can cut the bad part off and then divide them in 3 ways. I can get 3 pieces out of each sheet that came off of the original roof. So hopefully that will be enough to cover the outside of the wall. I may find that I'm not going to have enough. I got to do a bunch of measuring first to make sure I'm going to have enough. And if nothing else, I'm going to have to try to figure out another route. But that is if I don't have enough. That's the plan. I've already measured the panels that was on the original roof, and I can get 3 17-inch pieces. So I'm good with that. I just got to make sure that all the pieces that come out of that is going to be enough to go all the way around. If it doesn't, then I have to figure out how to put it around the wall in a way that if I do have to use something different for the rest of it, that I can make changes to still make it look good and make it look like you meant it that way and still serves the purpose. There's a lot of thought process in it, and that's what drives me. That's probably what's going to make me crazy is the fact that I have to finagle stuff down to the last little piece, clear down to the inch. So anyway, enough of the rambling. We've got a bunch of this scrap here that I got next door, and I wanted to take a moment also to thank the people who made what I've got so far possible. I want to thank Jen for giving me the building, and I want to thank Lynn for giving me the screws, and I want to thank Tammy for the boards, some of the boards here that's laying. So this wouldn't be possible without them, and I feel that it's my obligation to thank them for doing it. So thank you guys for helping me out. God bless you. So we got the door metal that I'm not going to use, so who knows? Maybe I can use that for a panel for the front side if I don't have enough of the roofing, the original roofing material to go around the sides. I mean, they are 2 foot, so we probably need anywhere from 4 to 5 pieces, and I can get 3 out of each one, and there's probably 10 of them. So I may have enough. I don't know. But right now, I went down and there's another lot down here that had a bunch of wood laying in front of it that just looked god awful. And I went and picked through that and found some pretty solid boards, 2x4s that are, you know, short ones. And those will be the ones that I'll get my 16-inch 2x4s to make the walls with. And I'm going to use 4 of the 2x8s that I made this out of and split them in half and use them for the bottom runner and the top runner. So you're going to have a 2x4 here, 2x4 on the bottom, and then you'll have, I'm going to use these 4x4 pieces that I found for the corners, and I may have to cut one of the big 2x4 or 4x4s that I was going to use for the runners to be able to pull it up on a trailer. I can always put that in later. I've got it up off the ground high enough that I can use real heavy angle iron and bolt them to the side of it, and it still serve its purpose. So I may have to cut them down to do 2 corner posts for the door facing, and that will strengthen the building a little bit better. As far as the roof goes, we're going to take the original beams, which is these, and I'm almost certain that a 2x4, let's just check that right now. Let's see if a 2x4 will fit in this, and I'm certain it will. I'm going to take a 2x4 and put in there and screw it to it because it's got the holes in it. It's got holes where I can put screws in, and that will make that a solid beam. Basically, I'm just going to use the metal just to get me up there. Once I've got it up there, then I'll take these and put them on there, and it'll strengthen it and make that snow-worthy. So now I'm going to go ahead and get our stuff together and get it up here on the platform and start cutting to pieces. Good thing is the old lady don't work today. I can get her to work. Anyway, stay tuned. Well, hello guys. Apparently this has become an unboxing video too. Had to go buy a new saw. Up until that point, I had nothing in this building. Well, my good old trusty skill I've had for years finally took a crack. Nothing. Power's on. Nothing. We done checked it with the drill, and that power is on. So I lost it. I'm gonna have to investigate what's wrong with it, but we had to go buy a new one. So anyway, let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. And what I got was, I went to Walmart, and this was $28, $29 by, well, probably 30 by the time taxes and everything. 12 amp, 7 1/4 inch circular saw. It's by Hyper Tough, and I've never heard of them, but I'm gonna give it a try, and we'll see how this works. We got our directions, handbook. Our guide. And the saw. I'm kind of hoping that I can take the laser off of that one and retrofit it to this one. I don't know yet. There should be a wrench in there. Don't need the directions. I'm smarter than them anyway. We put all this together just in case something happens. I have to take it back. Sure it's tight. Alright, now for the moment of truth. Got a slow start to it. I like my old saw. I got to get that fixed. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish cutting this. What we're doing is cutting the top runner and the bottom runner. So we're going to get started on that. That blade's wider. Of course, this is hardwood too. So there's our first runners. And I screwed them down there so they'll hold them for me. Them two screws holding that down are the type of help that don't give you no dip. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut the rest of these just like those. You just seen me do that one. So we're going to go ahead and cut the rest of these off camera, and then we'll go ahead and start cutting our short pieces to go in between them. And we won't come back to the video until I'm ready to put all that together, and then that'll be a speeded up section of me putting it together. So stay tuned. Alright everybody, now that we've got these ripped down, we got two separate ones, and I've got enough for all four walls. And these two here are going to be little short walls because my door's going to go right here. We've already got all the boards, the studs made up, and basically it's going to go together just like so. Same thing over here. And lined up where our pre-marked holes are. And all the walls will look exactly like this. And basically I did 14-inch studs, and with the 14-inch stud and an inch and a half here and an inch and a half here, it brings me to 16 inches, I think. No, I forgot. Might be 17. Yeah, 17 inches. So we're going to have a 17-inch wall all the way around. Now we're going to do the first one on camera, and the rest of them it's the same process. And then we'll come back when we've got the wall actually bolted down to the floor, and we'll show you how we got it going on. So enjoy the music. Now that we've got this done, this one goes on the back side with this side facing out, simply because all these are squared up with each other, and it don't matter about the inside of it. So stay tuned. Alright everybody, we've got our knee wall built, and we figured up our material for the roof. I mean, why do I keep saying roof? For the panels from here down, and I think we got enough. My battery's getting ready to die, so I'm going to make this quick. I didn't video a whole lot of it because the old lady was helping me and she don't like being on camera, and I'm going to respect that. It's a little inconvenient, but yeah, that's just the way it is. But we've got it all tied together with screws, and we got that all the way around, and that's what the building's going to set on. It's not going to set on the floor, it's going to set on this part right here. And as far as that saw goes, it is junk. Alright everybody, we have got the knee wall done, and I would have videoed a little bit more of it, but I wanted to keep it short, and the old lady doesn't like to be on video, and I needed her help, so I respected that and went on and just videoed as much as possible. I got a little bit of her on the video, but it took an act of God to get that to happen. So but we've got the wall built, and we've got it all tied together. We got 35 inch door, and by the time it's said and done, we're going to have a 32 inch door, because we're going to take and put a 2x4 right here going straight up once we get the walls up, and then we'll tie all the walls and the knee wall together. And basically I just put screwed them down to the cross member, or the studs, and then I took the studs and screwed them in here and used 4x4s for the corners. And it's strong. It ain't going nowhere. And that will conclude part 2 of the how to make your building great again. And as far as this saw goes, it's a Hyper Tough. Do not buy a Hyper Tough that is $28.95. It is junk. When you go to saw through something, the bearings in it rattle and jump, and it's nasty. It's actually a dangerous saw. And I'll tell you something else about this saw that makes it dangerous, is the fact that this right here, this little corner, when you go into your work, this here will not, it's up too far. It will not start going back. So by the time you get it to go back, it's done jerked the blade into the work and ripped a piece of splinter out. And because this is up too far and is not allowing it to go under the board to push this back as your blade reaches the work. So my review on this saw, now that I've used it, it starts weak, and it's dangerous when it comes to this shield. By rights, this shield needs to be right there, not up so far. It's up too far. So in order to make that work right, you would have to somehow shim it so it won't go all the way to the closed position. And that way this hits the wood in the right spot to make it go back as you're going through the wood. Right now, it's just hitting the blunt edge of the wood, and I'll show you what I mean by that. If I can get my act together here. Find a piece of wood. I'll get this piece right here. Yeah, I'll get this one instead. So basically, if I can get this positioned right, what this is doing, if you can see, it's hitting that part instead of going down here to the bottom, and won't allow that to go back. So it's kind of pushing against the hinge. So my review on this is not a good one. So anybody looking to buy a cheap saw, I tend to agree with Crafted on this. Your tools, depending on how much you spend on them, don't be cheap on your saw. I got this in an emergency situation, and it's probably going to go back to Walmart, and probably tonight. I'm going to try to see if I can't take my skeel back apart and find out what's wrong with it. I like that saw. That skeel has been a real good saw, and it's not that old. This is a really good saw. It's got the laser on top of it right here, and I've only been out of this away or not been able to use this saw for about 3 hours, and I'm telling you, I miss it already. So I got to get this saw back up and going. And I had thought maybe because that wood was really hard to go through, and I just thought maybe it just heated up and throwed a breaker in it, one of them thermo switches. And I come out about an hour later and tried it again. It didn't work. So apparently something else is going on with it. So that'll be another video. I'm gonna video taking that apart. Who knows? I might do that tonight. But there you go. That is the conclusion of the saw review and the knee wall build. Next is putting the frame. I don't know if I'm going to put the wall frame up and go ahead and put the walls up and tie the top together so they're nice and sturdy, or put the frame around the top, the bottom frame. It's a little bent up, so I may have to make them out of something else. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm Bob. Later.